We're doing the upper extremity of the appendicular skeleton.
Okay, we're going to start with the humerus. And this one is a little bit weird shapes on it. This one, you can see that this is a left humerus. You can tell that this is the head of the humerus, the greater tubercle, the lesser tubercle, the intertubercular sulcus. It's called something different on the paper. It's like a gap or something. It's called something different, so we have to look that up. The deltoid tuberosity is this ridge thing right here. The body is this whole thing. The anatomical neck is this point around. It's just around the head right here. The surgical neck is this neck right here where it's most commonly broken usually. Now the olecranon fossa is right here where the olecranon of the ulna fits in. The coronoid fossa is on the anterior side right here, this fossa right there. The capitulum is right here, is a lateral condyle. On this one it's there. On this one it's there, it's kind of a big notch. The trochlea are these two little parts right here. You can see it right here. It's the part that the ulna kind of rotates around like this, the trochlea and the capitulum. And let's see, more parts from the PowerPoint that she wanted us to know were the lateral epicondyle on the outside of the body, the medial epicondyle right here. And that would be humerus. Now, you can tell if it's a right or a left humerus by looking at it by telling which way the neck goes, or the head of the bone. Now you can see that the head of the humerus will fit into the glenoid cavity of the scapula up here by the clavicle, like you can see on Mr. Wheels. So if I were looking at this random humerus, I would be able to tell that first off, the head is going this way. How do I know that it's not going this way? Because the olecranon fossa is always on the posterior side, which is the big fossa, and that will be always on the back. So if you orientate it that way, and the head is going that way, you'll know that you'll be able to say that this is a left humerus. So moving on from that, the ulna is the bigger of the two little bones in the forearm. Right here, you have the olecranon, which is up here, and the coronoid process, which is this sticking up right here, coronoid process, and the body, which is obviously just the body of the bone right here. You'll have the trochlear notch of the bone, which is this part that Eva refers to, kind of. It'll fit up in the trochlea. You can see here. It's not going to be a good fit, but it fits up in the trochlea right here. The trochlea of the humerus right here. And that is we call this the, what do we call that in there? Remember that? This is the coronoid process. This is the coronoid fossa. So that makes sense. The coronoid process kind of rotates up into the coronoid fossa. And the olecranon of the ulna fits into the olecranon fossa. Well, it will fit into the olecranon fossa of the humerus. So olecranon fossa. Coronoid fossa, coronoid process. Kind of fits up in there. So back to the ulna, we said olecranon, coronoid process, body, the trochlear notch that fits up into the trochlea. We said we had the head of the ulna is at the bottom, actually down here. So the head of the ulna, the styloid process is this little process coming off the head of the ulna. The radial notch of the ulna is up at the top. You can see this little notch here, and that is actually where the radius will come into contact with it. So you can see the radial notch on this side. Here, the radial notch right there. You can see where it's supposed to be, kind of there. So moving up to the radius. Here's the radius bone, is the smaller of the two bones in the forearm. You're going to have the head of the radius up here. Is the kind of flat round part, and it actually fits into the capitulum of the humerus right here. So capitulum, radius goes into, the ulna goes into the trochleum with the olecranon. So the radius goes into the capitulum part. That's why it's kind of flat. So this is the head of the radius, the body of the radius, the radial tuberosity is right here, kind of where this is marked. The radial tuberosity is by the head of the radius. The styloid process of the radius is what's marked on this one, is the sharp kind of edge right here. Let's see, do we have another radius? Would be the head of the radius, the radial tuberosity, the styloid process of the radius right here. The styloid process is opposite of the radial tuberosity. So, as you can see in this one, radial tuberosity, styloid process. Radial tuberosity, styloid process. And ulnar notch of the radius. The ulnar notch of the radius is actually this bottom thing, where it comes back into contact with the ulna. Notch of the radius. So we can see on Mr. Wheels maybe. Actually, the ulnar notch of the radius is this part right here. Slightly, the styloid process is on the opposite side. The ulnar notch is on the opposite side of the styloid process.
The styloid process of the radius.
Yes. So you have the radius, styloid process of the radius. The ulnar notch is on the opposite side of the styloid process, so it can then come back into contact with the ulna, as you can see here. There's, on Mr. Wheels, the head of the radius, tuberosity of the radius, styloid process of the radius, ulnar notch of the radius, where the ulna comes back into contact with it. Now this would be a broken capitulum right off of there, shoot, trochlear, that's what we had. Okay, anyway, so we're done with that part. Done.